Get your live music fix with the best of Pearl Jam tribute music. Washed in Black will be performing for one night only, 7 p.m. on August 27th at the Federal Way Performing Arts Center. Experience a tribute to one of the most prolific bands of our time with Seattle's own Washed in Black as they celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the release of 10. Get tickets at fwpaec.org. Thank you to our sponsor, Becker Retirement Group.
Got a hankering for a sessionable hazy IPA? Elysian Brewing's Contact Haze is just the brew for you. Order Contact Haze and your other favorite Elysian brews like Space Dust from ElysianBrewing.com today for free delivery. ElysianBrewing.com.
Must be 21. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast the quick thinking of a nurse at the Queensland Health Hotline in Australia. But first, a little background. Now, the hotline, it's operated by Queensland Health. It operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's run by a team of 170 registered nurses. Each nurse has been a nurse for at least 4 years, and they regularly have complete training in critical thinking and in clinical reasoning. So they're very serious about the people that man this. Well, they received a call from a woman who had just undergone a serious operation. They never mentioned what the nature of the operation was, but she called late last night as a last resort because of her level of pain. She was suffering some kind of uncontrollable abdominal pain, and understandably, she was quite worried about potential complications because she just had the surgery. That's when the responding nurse responded with both professional and scholarly advice. She directed the woman, and I quote, to masturbate under the shower and rub oil on her anus. The nurse no longer works for Queensland Health, and are trying to track down the caller to offer an apology. No one has any idea why this is the advice she gave, but that's the advice she gave.
She's kind of like one-off?
Yeah, this woman calls, hey, man, I'm having abdominal stress. I just want to point out I recently had a very serious surgery, whatever it may have been. This woman's like, yeah, man. Just masturbate under the shower, rub oil under anus. Thank you for calling Queensland Health out.
Maybe it was like an errant text like we get.
Maybe.
Maybe she dialed the wrong number.
This was a phone call. Now they have the record. They're like, yeah, okay. we let her go. Now, that said, I might go home tonight, masturbate and shower and rub oil on my anus, see if it makes me feel better.
Doesn't sound bad. I mean, it's going to make you feel a little bit better.
That's not the worst advice I've heard. No. I just don't know that it worked for her situation. But we drink to her and her quick thinking. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola. All right, Justin, you understand how this here game is played?
I sure do.
Fantastic. Then you already know this, but it's worth repeating. You have your choice of one of three stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up inside of someone.
You know what? Let's go with interior decorating.
Yes! Interior decorating.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Eddie Murphy. All right, here is your story. In this case, a 22-year-old man from India. He was operated upon for an object in his rectum. Now, police said the man had arrived in a city I cannot possibly pronounce via train to visit his mother. Feeling discomfort in his abdomen, he visited the hospital. There, an x-ray revealed the object in his rectum. Now, suspecting an unnatural offense, the hospital authorities informed local police, quote, "The man took a train to meet his mother. During the journey, he had alcoholic drinks with some men and then blacked out. He suspects the other men forced the object into him while he was unconscious. It's now become a criminal investigation." Anyway, the question is, what did they find stuffed into his rectum after getting drunk with a group of strangers on the train? Was it a rolled-up magazine, a glass bottle, a rubber duck, or a lighter? So again, a rolled-up magazine, a glass bottle, rubber duck, or a lighter. One of these things ended up inside of him after imbibing in some booze with strangers.
Oh. Can you say it was an investigation because of this?
They opened a criminal investigation. Keep in mind, he got on a train to go visit his mom. He gets drunk on the train like any right-thinking person should do. He drank with strangers. He passed out on the train. The strangers took advantage of the opportunity and put one of these things in his rectum: the rolled-up magazine, glass bottle, rubber duck, or lighter.
Oh.
That's what he said.
I'm kind of leaning towards glass bottle. What about you guys?
I would like to think it's a rubber duck just for the comedic effect.
Rubber duckies, you're the one.
When you're in my bung.
I mean, I doubt it would be a lighter because if everybody's drinking, somebody's going to want their lighter.
Well, you know what, man? But at the point that I'm going to make that decision, whatever I've got, go ahead.
Well,
give
a magazine
my
would be
iPad.
available on the train. A glass bottle would be. A lighter would be. That's why the rubber duck is just such an odd thing.
Plus, it seems like that would be the
most difficult
thing to put somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I'm going to stick with rubber duck. Ted, what is your theory on this? I know it's got to be wackadoo.
Right, they're drinking, passes out. What was the first one? Rolled up magazine?
Magazine, glass bottle, rubber duck, or lighter?
Yeah, glass bottle seems pretty simple. Obviously, you're on a train, you're drinking. There's got to be empties around. I don't know. I really have a hard time seeing people part with a lighter. You know, I mean, like
nothing else about this story bothers you. The part you can't get past, like, who would give up their lighter? You're gonna need that to smoke, man.
That seems crazy, dude. But also, that could be the easiest to fit in.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm thinking maybe it's a rolled up magazine, and they were going for like comedy. So it's just funny as you walk by, there's a guy with just a magazine sticking out of his rear end.
You go magazine?
I'm going to go rolled up magazine.
All right. Justin, what do you think here? Magazine, glass bottle, rubber duck, or lighter?
You know, I'm thinking glass bottle, but at the same time, rubber ducky just seems so random, and I do like the comedic fact, so I'm going to go with rubber ducky.
Rubber duck, final answer?
Duck.
Okay.
I hope there's a rubber duck in your butt, man. Yeah. That would be hilarious.
We're going to find out if this guy had a magazine, a glass bottle, a rubber duck, or a lighter inserted in his anus next.
That was a tease.
Get your live music fix with the best of Pearl Jam tribute music. Washed in Black will be performing for one night only, 7 p.m. on August 27th at the Federal Way Performing Arts Center. Experience a tribute to one of the most prolific bands of our time with Seattle's own Washed in Black as they celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the release of 10. Get tickets at fwpaec.org. Thank you to our sponsor, Becker Retirement Group.
Make contact. A collective psychosis is sweeping the nation. We're in the thick of the haze craze, and Elysian is introducing an altered state of IPA. Contact Haze is a tangled chemistry of mild haze, low bitterness, and an explosion of hop aroma. This hazy IPA bursts with notes of bright raspberry, currant, citrus, guava, and passion fruit. Available in 6-pack cans in stores and in all Seattle Elysian locations. Make contact. Must be 21. Please enjoy responsibly.
The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Friendly reminder, it might be dangerous to take a train ride in India. The guy was going to see his mom and started drinking with some passengers on the train. He blacked out. He woke up. Something was inserted in his backside. Question is, and they had to do surgery to get it out there, so it's pretty well in. Was it a magazine rolled up, a glass bottle, a rubber duck, or a lighter?
And Justin, that is the very question that we posed to you. Now, the Ted Smith, you went with the rolled up magazine?
Yeah, I like the idea of people seeing them and just hanging out.
Oh, not a rolled-up magazine. Now, Justin, you agreed with Miles and said, look, for comedic reasons, a rubber duck would be the surefire home run, and I'm right there with you. Nothing would be funnier given the options. However, no rubber ducky, I'm afraid. That was not in his anus. No, it was, in fact, a glass bottle.
A glass bottle?
Probably one of the bottles they consumed alcohol from, is my guess.
Wow.
So my theory was right, though. Nobody lost a lighter.
Nobody lost a lighter, because that would be sick and ridiculous.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Did you grab my lighter, man?
You ain't getting it.
Hang on, dude. Here you go.
Look at it. Oh, man, yes, mine's got the sticker on it.
Hey, dude, got a light? Yep. Hang on.
Oh, is this one white?
Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Tim.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, Armageddon. The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
So, Miles, you had brought it up earlier in the show today, and I'm sure a lot of people have talked about it. When we watch these sports come back, they pipe in the fan noise.
That is correct.
Right. So, Philly, kind of famous for, frankly, they boo everybody. I was never a Michael Irving fan. He had a serious neck injury, and they booed him. And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was laying there not moving in the middle of the field.
They had to take him off on a stretcher.
Right, there's also a time in Philly where they famously booed Santa Claus.
And then they hit him with snowballs.
Yeah.
It's Santa Claus, man. it's Santa Claus.
Look, I've been to Philadelphia Stadium for the Army-Navy game, but I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would go there for an Eagles game.
I would. I can't think of a reason why. You know what? I would go perhaps if the Eagles are playing the Patriots or the Steelers, where I have a rooting interest against the other team. But I would not go there in support of my team playing the Eagles.
Well, and growing up where I did, like, we were all Washington fans at the time.
Sure.
And, like, Eagles fans were just the worst.
They still are.
Yeah.
They really, really are, man. And not all of them, but the ones that choose to go to the stadium for sure.
I just remember being at a bar down at the beach, and there was a bunch of Washington fans and a bunch of Eagles fans, right? Kind of the same area we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So I don't hear the Eagles fan giving my buddy a hard time, but finally my buddy just, like, kind of rares up, and he's like, pre-merger? You're talking about championships for the pre-merger?
Look, dog, you got to dig pre-merger. Nobody cares. And look, we've met a lot of Patriots fans, and they've been smug, but they've earned it. So, all right, man, 9 Super Bowl appearances, 6 wins, whatever. You got to let it go. Hell, this is 9 wins.
It's still their second favorite team.
Right. But Eagles fans, especially up until Nick Foles win your Super Bowl for it, they still talk smack. Like, bro, if you don't have a ring on your finger, not to sound like Beyonce, but put a ring on it before you got anything to say.
Yeah, they always talked a lot of trash. So anyhow, they're known for booing. Well, there were some bad plays at the Eagles game, and the person working the sound system booed him.
Too tall for Zach Ertz. And now 4th down with the punt team back on for the Eagles.
They're not even there.
The coverage. Once down 21-3 in this game. Wentz off play action looking for the end zone, and it's intercepted. Darius Williams with a diving pick in front of J.J.
I mean, it's just insanity. I can't believe they even have that option.
They do.
I think in Philly,
they're the only team that does.
You know what, though? I think for almost every other team, you have the boo soundtrack, but it's there if you absolutely disagree with an official's call. Not for your own players.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? Like, they got the boo, but it's like, they called holding, you disagree. They understand that, you hit boo, right. But not so much your own players on the home team.
But that's kind of the thing, right? Generally, if you're booing your own team, like, either they've just been playing awful.
Sure.
Right? No matter what the sport is, right? Or they've made just a colossal dumb mistake right before, like, half
Understood.
or something.
Yeah, 15 years watching Seahawks football, because it's on. Never heard. Maybe one time with Clipboard Jesus. I think he threw like 2 or 3 picks. Maybe there was some rumbling. Other than that, I've never heard anybody boo the Seahawks.
No.
Well, most teams are support. Look, as far as the NFL goes, Mike and I were talking about this earlier. So, like, the Jets suck. Everyone knew the Jets are going to suck. The Lions suck. Everyone knew the Lions would suck. But this is why the Lions suck worse than the Jets. Maybe not head-to-head right now, but so the Lions lost yesterday. Not only have they lost 11 straight regular season games, topped, I believe, only by the Detroit Lions when they went 0-16, do you realize they're the first team in NFL history, and this is not something to brag about, but they're the first team in NFL history Not only to lose a game in spite of having a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, but to do it 4 consecutive times. So they did it. So if you watch a Lions game and feel like, man, I've seen this before. You have. The last 2 games of last season and the first 2 games of this season. Double-digit lead, fourth quarter, and you blow it.
That's unbelievable.
It is. I mean, look, Atlanta sucks, obviously. They have no killer instinct. They're soft. They're made of meringue. But with the Lions, that's just, they don't do it all the time. Atlanta just does it big, but they don't do it all the time. It is coaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, my God, man.
Speaking of the Browns.
Oh, wait. You're right. The Cleveland Browns, they went 0-31. Remember, they went 1-15? And
then what, 0-16?
Something like that, yeah.
Speaking of the Browns, they had 6,000 fans in attendance for their game last Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a couple fights in the stands, believe it or not, too.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's unbelievable.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even know how that happened. You can't even be close enough to someone to get to a fight.
You know what it might be?
I'd kick your ass. We didn't have this 6-foot rule, buddy.
Trying to hit you with this beer cup.
I know you're 6'5" and weigh 300 pounds, but we got a 6-foot rule here, so
you're lucky.
Yeah, you are.
The one I saw on social media, I'm pretty sure it was just Browns fans.
It was.
Yes.
They were fighting each other.
Yeah.
And they won.
And it was a great game. That was another great game. There was a couple of really good games. I mean, when you think about what Dallas did this week, you think about the Seahawks game, think about the Thursday night football game. I mean, higher percentage of better games than not.
Yes.
So. Yeah. I was going to say, the only boring ones were the ones I was watching.
Yeah, the ones they televised here. The early games.
Every time.
Boston Red Sox game yesterday, there weren't supposed to be any fans, but a guy snuck into the stadium, threw a temper tantrum.
He broke in for the express purpose to disrupt the baseball game.
And he started tossing things on the field.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to sneak into because you're a huge Red Sox fan and you want to watch the game. And you can tell people, I was the only person in Fenway, snuck my ass in, watched the game. But his whole M.O. was to stop play. And he did. I mean, I don't get it, but, you know.
I don't get it either.
Right. Good for you.
I think this is how you could thwart things like that. Like, look, now, we're going to give an option, but you don't get to make the decision. But we're going to talk to the teams. They can either have you arrested for whatever the charge is, trespass, blah, 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 or they will detain you here, and after the game, they come out here and beat your ass for interrupting. Let these baseball players go, both teams, let them go in there, and they can show you what they think of you disrupting them while they are at work.
Yeah.
Or, because I'm telling you, I would never dream of that. Like, please take me to jail.
Yeah. When I was a kid, like 7th grade, Florida State University, joined the ACC. Maryland at that time is in the ACC. So me and my brother and my dad, we go down to Tallahassee. We're going to watch Maryland play Florida State. I mean, it's over so quick. It's not even funny. I mean, like they hung like 60 on us or something. But at one point in the fourth quarter, I remember a guy in a Maryland shirt like jumped out of the stands. He made it all the way to the other end zone and spiked like a little football. That was the highlight as a Maryland fan. That was the highlight of the game. And then those cops were, they got him down quick.
Shouldn't that be the rule? Like, if you're going to disrupt a live sporting event, at least be naked and be running across the field.
Right, and it was during, like, a natural break in the action anyhow, so it was fine. But seriously, that was the highlight. I think he was the only Maryland person in a Maryland shirt to make it to an end zone. Oh, damn. I wish I was lying.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Seahawks had a game yesterday. They were on Sunday Night Football, which listen, I'm a Seahawks fan. They don't all need to be this close, but what an exciting game! And it came down to the last play.
2 seconds, and it comes down to one play. This is it.
Here we go.
Dan is going to take it himself, and he doesn't get in. And the Seahawks are going to win the game. 35-30. Seattle.
Run the ball.
I will say Cam had a great game.
He did. He had a great game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the right call. Like, you got to keep it in his hands.
Yep. The problem is the Seahawks were prepared for that because, again, I would argue that it was like a long one. You know, I'm just like, man, I just don't know. The Seahawks defense looks a lot better. But, Mike and I, we text each Sunday about what we think our team's going to do, right? Because basically you got to talk each other off the roof because as a fan, you just don't see anything clearly. So he'll be like, dude, it's good, man. You're fine. So we're going back and forth, gets to halftime, and Mike's like, man, I don't know. Like, there's just no comfort. And I said, dude, I said this Friday, I stand by what I said. It's going to be a great first half, and the Seahawks are going to beat the living piss out of them in the second half. Mark my words. Got to the fourth quarter. It's like, I might be wrong. I just like
Wagner flew up and made a
great
great hit on that play, and Adams was all over the field. He was a part of that tackle, too. Unfortunately, Bruce Irvin's done for the year. But
when you talk about, like, not getting too excited before a game.
Yeah.
So some of my buddies, I just, like, bet like $1 with them, right?
Sure.
I gave one buddy 14 points. Right. That's how confident I was. I was like, oh, Adams is gonna knock out Cam Newton. Like the Seahawks are just gonna steamroll them.
Oh, second half, they got their ass. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is a good game. And I'm glad I'm not a fan of either of these teams. Because I just know your stress level is going through the freaking roof.
Right. So that was the crazy thing watching that. Like you want the Hawks to win, but and I appreciate it. It's a great game. It's just like, come on.
they couldn't figure out Adams. I mean, they used to play him every year, twice a year. They still couldn't figure him out.
I will say, Jamal Adams is one of... I don't know that I've seen a safety play the way he does.
No, like I said, you can be a ball hawk or you can be a hitter. This guy is the rare combination of both.
It was hitting weather. Let's see. Jeopardy may have cheated a contestant out of a correct answer.
I actually saw this episode and thought they were a little chintzy about it.
All right. So during a final Jeopardy last week, they had to identify Motown producer Berry Gordy. A contestant named Betsy wrote Barry, B-A-R-R-E.
B-A-R-R-Y.
Damn, Tim.
Sorry. Right. So either way, she screwed it up, but it was only a letter off.
I don't think anybody out there would. I would say 95% of people, if you ask how to spell the name Barry, they're going to go with an A every time. Not that a berry that you eat doesn't have an E in it, but
right. But that's because that's the one you eat.
And names are unique that way. So I mean, if it's how to spell, I don't know, Pittsburgh, all right? You know what I mean? You probably need to know how to spell Pittsburgh to get, but there's not variations. There's not like 5 different Pittsburgh spelled 10 different ways.
Yeah, if you said, what's my name, you say Stephen Hill, and you spell it with a PH, technically you're incorrect. I spell it with a P, but...
M-Y-L-E-S instead of M-I. Sorry, no Standish for you. You know, it's like, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah, or think about the name Sean. I was talking to 2 Seans yesterday. Both spelt different.
Mm-hmm. Aaron. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Right. My buddy Aaron spells it with an E.
And he's a dude, which is usually, right, I'm sure no one's pointed that out to him.
Oh, every time. And people are always like, for real? Like, yeah. He even says it. I spell it like a girl. So Betsy had no chance of winning. Fans are still upset, though, because I guess this is not the first time somebody's misspelled something, and then they usually give them credit. But for whatever reason, they just didn't give it to her.
It was real quick. I remember watching that episode. I'm sitting there with my daughter. This is how she learns things, like who used to run Motown, because that's important to her. And so I was a mumble the answer when I'm correct anyway. This one I was confident, like Berry Gordy. Pops up, and, you know, he says, oh, you wrote Berry Gordy. Oh, I'm sorry. You're incorrect. And I'm like, what? It's B-E or whatever the hell it was. And I'm like, oh, my God. And if I remember right, and I might be wrong, but whoever got it right, I want to say just wrote Gordy.
Right.
You know, like if you're not sure of how to spell the first name.
Is it E-Y? Is it Y? I think it's Y.
I don't remember. But either way, I want to say they just wrote Gordy. And one thing about Jeopardy, if you just say the last name of whoever the person is, they give it to you every time.
Right, unless it's like a Roosevelt.
Right, in which case, right, where you have to differentiate specifically who you're talking about. But I want to say, the other person just wrote Gordy and won, and meanwhile, she's like Berry Gordy, but spelled it, well, the way most people spell it.
Yeah, again, I don't know what the difference is, but people are upset.
But she wouldn't have won anyway, I don't think.
No, she had no chance of winning.
Then it doesn't matter. That's the only difference. Like, if she got it right, it wouldn't have mattered.
The Emmys were last night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
yep.
Yeah, a lot of shows we all enjoy. Won some stuff.
Was there any that won? Was there any that really took it down and really swept it?
There's a show about a creek that did very well.
Really?
Yeah, man, they crushed it.
What, Dawson's Creek?
Yeah, people love the Beak.
I didn't realize I brought that back.
Best comedy series.
Dawson's Creek. When did that become a comedy?
Basically, Creek won every comedy series, every comedy award there was. Mm-hmm. Like Best Actress, Best. Is it too?
Yeah.
The cast swept all acting categories. Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hare. They won Actor and Actress. Daniel Levy and Annie Murphy won for Supporting Actor and Actresses. This is the first time a comedy series has done that.
And it was on their last season. Mike, do you watch this show?
I have watched, I believe, a season of it.
Okay, what'd you think?
It was okay. You know what? It wasn't terrible. It didn't. I wasn't sitting there waiting for the next season.
Okay. You're allowed to say the name of the show. You know that. If you want to. Is it just too hard to get past your lips on the air?
Everyone it has been, like across the country, everyone's like, can we say? And FCC said, it is fine. It's the name of the show.
Right.
The show is Dawson's Creek.
That's right.
Come on, Ted. Come on, man.
You going to tell him the truth?
Feel good about it.
No.
Who won the award, Ted? You know what? I want.
We want to know.
Right. You want me to hit the button?
I don't know, man. I'm sorry. This is just fear. It feels like a trap.
It's a trap.
Thrill, I was happy to see our show got an award, Best Limited Series, Watchmen.
It got a couple of awards, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what they all
Regina
were.
King got Best Actress in a Limited Series.
You know what's funny? So my wife, I guess, taped it, and she's fast-forwarding through all the crap just to see the awards. Now, she let Regina King speak, all right? But, like, half the people that won awards, my wife sees who it is, and just saying, hey, wow, this is crazy. I'm like, fast forward. Like, damn, man. It's like, I don't care. It's like they're not thanking me. Like, okay, that's a good point.
Yeah. I forgot they were on.
But Regina, I did too, man.
How could you care with that game on last night?
That was the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like one of the greatest games in the last, as you'd say, 10 years was on.
I was like the
I'm a football fan. I'm watching this game. It was an incredible game. Hell, no offense to the Emmys.
No, you know what we should do to make the Emmys or the Academy Award, the Golden Globes, and any of this self-congratulatory crap interesting to us? Do it like fantasy football, right? So we see who the nominees are, and then we will do a pool and be like, all right, this is who I have for Best Actor in a dramatic role. So that way, because, with football, even if you don't love football, you understand that it's a guaranteed result, and these results affect the future of the teams playing. The Emmys.
Yeah. Well, they also choose to go up against NFL football. You're an idiot if you try to do it because 50% of the population is going to be watching football. Somebody in the house is going to be watching football. Saturday nights, it's a ghost town on television. Start showing this stuff on Saturday night.
That's a good call.
I mean, honest to God, all these award shows.
Is that because people just go out more on Saturdays?
I just think
there's sports, but you're right. There's not a ton of I don't know.
There might be an NBA
football,
game.
like how football's set up, right? Like traditionally it used to be Friday night was high school.
Sure.
Saturday was college. Sunday was for the pros. I feel like somehow TV and movies, like if I'm going to go see a movie, it would almost always be on a Saturday.
Because you're not missing anything.
Right. And it's just kind of weird. Like
very much by design.
Right. And then Friday night you would have certain shows like when I was a teenager.
Early though. You'll notice,
Family Matters, I remember those shows.
8 to 9 is usually okay for if you have kids. As an adult, Friday 8 to 9, probably not your bag of tea there, but cup of tea, bag of tea.
A tea bag.
Tea bags. Probably not your tea bag. But yeah, Friday nights and Saturdays. It's not that no one's home, but fewer people are home, and that's why they put the garbage TV on then. Shows for kids, let me say it that way.
But you're right. I mean, who knows? Maybe you put the Emmys or the Oscars on a Saturday night, people watch it.
Why not?
I know. Mike, I did not invite you to my... I know we usually do the Oscars and the Emmy. We have the fancy party.
It's 3 years running, Ted.
The champagne.
Still waiting on that invite.
I know.
I'd go to an Oscar party if I'd seen one movie up until that point that was actually up for an Oscar, but typically the movies that I enjoy
for Oscars
aren't at that level of artiste.
I will say, it's one thing I can appreciate about the Emmys. You say a show like The Watchmen or Schitt's Creek, not Dawson's Creek, or whatever it is, there's a chance you've seen these, and even if you haven't seen a whole season, I can check out a show to know whether I like it or not. With these movies, it's like, I'm not spending $20 to find out if I like this because Daniel Day-Lewis is in it, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, other shows that won awards. Best sketch series, Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
I'm sure we've all seen an episode of Saturday Night Live.
I have. What else?
Right. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver got an award.
Seen his show.
Great show.
Best pre-recorded variety special, Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Right. But I'm with you. You're more apt to have seen these things.
And when they get nominated, and with On Demand, if it gets nominated, let's check out a season.
Sure.
We can binge it. You like it or you don't.
Yep. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Make contact. A collective psychosis is sweeping the nation. We're in the thick of the haze craze, and Elysian is introducing an altered state of IPA. Contact Haze is a tangled chemistry of mild haze, low bitterness, and an explosion of hop aroma. This hazy IPA bursts with notes of bright raspberry, currant, citrus, guava, and passion fruit. Available in 6-pack cans in stores and in all Seattle Elysian locations. Make contact.
Must be 21. Please enjoy responsibly.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do two things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A woman hanging out of a car to film a Snapchat video. Yeah, she fell smack dab in the middle of the road. Meanwhile, India Prime Minister celebrates his 70th birthday with 100 hydrogen-filled balloons, and they all explode. Nurse being investigated after telling patient in pain to masturbate, then rub on her butt. Man on Twitter letting followers control his backside to get out of that COVID rut. And a Boston police officer injured after getting smashed by a drunk driver. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
Top story. We go to Massachusetts, where a Boston man outed himself as a drunk driver in a spectacular way. The driver was driving drunk late Saturday night when he started floating over the middle line and into oncoming traffic, swiping a car in the process. Unfortunately for him, the car that he swiped into was a police cruiser. The officer in the car was injured in the crash, but he's being treated for his injuries, and the driver is facing charges.
Your cousin from Boston.
Oh, boy.
I was hoping it was actually on Sunday night following the beatdown that the Seahawks gave him. Take it. Moving on, in other news, positive energy is contagious, and it's proven with our next story out of New Jersey. A video is going viral of 3 sanitation workers that caught the bug and kept it moving. One of the workers was going through a rough time mentally and noticed that his co-workers were suffering the same funk, so he decided to start dancing. And then his co-workers started dancing along with him. The 3 eventually broke into a routine that kept them going and their spirits high and was caught on someone's doorbell camera. That video has since seen hundreds of thousands of views online.
Oh, Anthony, you're so positive. It's like it's contagious.
Thing is that then they pooled some money together to actually install a speaker into that truck, so rain or shine, they're going to be jamming out there now.
Cool.
Now they're
good
be
for them, man.
Dancing garbage man. Loving
Dancing garbage man.
You seen that video, Ted?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, look it up, dude. It's not bad. It'll
Is
put
it
a
really?
smile on your face. Yeah. See garbage man running down there just dancing away. It's good. Over in London, a woman is lucky to be alive for her attempts at a neat Snapchat video. The woman was a passenger in a car flying down the freeway at 1 a.m, and she felt the need to hang out of the car door while recording a Snapchat video. Unsurprisingly, she fell from her iron grasp on the door and directly into the next lane onto the freeway.
Going like 60 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
This was, she's lucky to be alive.
Exactly. Luckily, nobody was coming in at that lane at that time, and she was able to scramble away without much of an injury. But I got to assume that falling out of a car moving 60 miles an hour on the asphalt is probably not going to...
No.
That's not good at all.
Again, she is lucky to be alive.
Right. You're going to walk away with
But
a
I
raspberry.
think it helped her recognize the error of her ways. All I can think is, since it's not my kid, I'm glad she fell out of the car. Because if it's your kid, you'd be like, what the hell are you doing? You could fall out of the car. But,
Right.
But she learned her lesson.
And how much force does it take to open a door on the freeway?
And
Think about that for a second. You ever tried to open a door while you were moving?
Yeah, I kept trying to push her out, but to no avail.
I don't know if she was hanging out the window.
No,
She was hanging out the door.
Jesus.
The door was open.
Door is a job.
How old was this person?
It says a woman, so 18 or older.
Yeah. Old enough to be stupid.
Right, old enough to know better.
You found any yet, Ted?
I got 3 commercials, and I'm looking at, just show me the garbage man dancing.
Just need the dancing garbage man. Moving on here, we'll be back with Ted here in just a moment. Over in India, a birthday celebration turned into a horror show, and balloons are to blame.
No, the balloons are not to blame.
I blame the balloons, Miles. In a video recorded of the party, someone can be seen carrying a massive collection of hydrogen-filled balloons in celebration of their Prime Minister's 70th birthday. I believe there was actually 70 balloons there.
100.
700 balloons.
100.
Oh, 100.
100 balloons.
Thank you.
All
he's turning
filled with
70.
hydrogen.
Right.
What did we learn from the Hindenburg?
It's then that a firecracker sets off too close to one of the balloons, which, why is there a firecracker? Anyway, this caused a chain reaction that sent all the balloons up in flames. The crowd disperses to go put out the flames, and 12 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the video?
I did. It's nuts.
That is unbelievable. I mean,
it's almost as if something flammable hit a flame.
Like we said, it's hydrogen. And after the Hindenburg, everyone figured out real quick, like, maybe we should use helium.
It's not the balloons' fault. You can put water in those and throw them at people.
Good point, Miles. Not bad. But I can't really hang it. Never mind. A man in Omaha was arrested in connection with a suspicious package, but it has a little bit more explaining to do here. Surveillance footage outside of a courthouse shows the man pulling 2 packages out of his van before sitting them on the steps of the courthouse and driving away. Bomb squads were called and the building was evacuated, but the bombs turned out to be fake. His van was later tracked down where they found MDMA, codeine, and 863 pounds of marijuana inside.
Damn, that's a lot.
Wow, man.
He was arrested on multiple felony charges.
That's a shame. I like that guy.
That's the equivalent of 4 passengers in your car. Minimal.
Yeah. And I'm starting to think
I'm just thinking, like, how low is your car riding if it's got 800 pounds of pot in it?
How much codeine did he have?
It does not say how much codeine he had. But I'm starting to think about it. It's like, weed does not weigh that much.
You have a ton of it.
Right. How do you have 850 pounds of weed?
One big purchase, bro.
Right. I mean, there's ways of acquiring it, Mike.
I believe this constitutes as a intent to distribute here.
By the way, we got an update.
What do you got, buddy?
Those garbage men can cut up a rug.
They can, man. They're good.
Cut up a rug, yeah.
They can really kick it.
I told you, man. They got a good routine. They're doing good. Motorcyclists in Yellowstone are facing charges after they've been accused of harassing wildlife. Videos were posted on Facebook of the cyclists riding their bikes off-road into a field and allegedly harassing the herd of bison in said field.
Just let them keep doing it.
Exactly.
Eventually the bison will handle it. Oh, you're back?
I say we treat Yellowstone like international waters. If something eats you or kills you while you're out there, that is not my doggone problem.
It's Yellowstone.
Yellowstone seems to be the hub of stupidity as far as the national park system is concerned these days.
Is it just because we can't force people to have seatbelts on that ride?
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe they just need to take a tram through, you know what I mean? And have people park their cars in a lot someplace.
Did nobody watch Jurassic Park and see where touching the animals is not a good thing? That is it for headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Ryan Castle is in. We will sit and spin. Last time we saw you, we did Mr. Songs. I believe we're going to the Mrs. and Miss Well.
Yes,
tomorrow.
Miss and Mrs.
Sit and spin, yeah.
It's all true, but in the meantime, we be all up out this biatch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The men's room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
On Pod Save the World, we want to be your cheat sheet for global events. My name is Tommy Vitor, and each week, my co-host Ben Rhodes and I break down the biggest stories from around the world. Ben and I both worked on President Obama's national security staff, and we'll introduce you to the activists, politicians, and journalists who can help us understand what's going on around the world, what it means for the United States, and what it's like being inside the White House Situation Room during a crisis. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your pods.